What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Gunpowder Banter, your show for everything Arsenal. I'm your host, Casey, and joining me as always, you have Oshoke, you have Femo Baba, and you have Diesel. So we're going to talk about our game yesterday against Man City. We hosted Man City. It was not an easy gig. We know what Man City always brings to the table. They struck pretty early. Things got a little tense, but just when we felt the game was slipping away, Martinelli came to the rescue. So let's dissect the game a little bit. There were so many things that happened between those goals, and I think it's fair for us to kind of jump right in and just kind of talk through the game. So I think let's just start with our general impressions. So what did you feel? How did you feel about the game from start to just general impressions, Femi? Do you feel like you were excited before the game started? Like, how were you feeling, and how did the whole thing kind of pan out for you? I know you kind of got very lively about it, so let's hear what you have to say, Mr. Intellectual.
No, so I mean, you asked in the group chat before, how do we feel about the game the night before? And I told you what my answer was. Like, I wasn't excited. I was nervous because I mean, it's Man City after all. We're playing Man City, right? And so, but it was less nerves than ever before because for the primary reason that I feel like we have the squad now and we have a team now that can compete. Like we haven't lost against them in five, now six if you consider last night's game, yesterday's game. So it was for me. It was all anticipation. It's kind of like how are we going to set up? How are we going to look in there? We're playing at the Emirates. It's a home game. Like my prediction was we can win this game. It was a 1-0 game in my mind. That was my prediction pre-match before any ball was ever kicked. And I just kind of thought about that, right? We had all played around with the notion of what kind of setup is Arteta going to go in there. If we say the Liverpool game was we were playing away, then that's fine. We're playing at the Emirates now. How is he going to set up in there? And then an hour before the game, I see the lineup, and then at that point, whatever little nerves that I had, it became full blown panic. I started panicking in that moment. Just seeing that lineup took me to panic because immediately I realized that even if it worked out, even if we some set piece happened, everything worked out. This is not how we should be setting up, right? It's not the kind of story that we want to be telling, right? And and immediately my reaction was what I said was we're doing the same thing that we did against Liverpool, and the results are going to be similar. And were it not for Martinelli's goal, I would have been proven to be a prophet yesterday. But those are my initial reactions. We'll talk more. I mean, we can talk more in detail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm gonna preface this by saying so. Hot take. I know I like to give you guys my hot takes. I don't. I'm very very slowly but surely getting on the Arteta out bandwagon.
Wow, that's bold. That's a hot take, quite indeed. Hot take, quite indeed. So, Diesel, let me just read some stats here for you, right? Arteta is the first manager to avoid defeat in five consecutive league games against Pep. So Arsenal has won twice, and we've drawn the other three. Uh, Man City have won just 7 points from their opening five Premier League games. So they've won two, they've drawn one, they've lost two. So this is their worst return after five leagues, after five games. So coming into the game, did you feel like we had a leg up? Like, were you kind of excited and said, "Yeah, this is in the bag," or did you feel like again this is Man City? You never know what to expect.
I would say I kind of feel the same way Femi felt initially because we have a solid team. That's not even in dispute right now. We have a solid team. I mean, we've been on form when it comes to the top six. Last season we didn't lose any game. This season it took a world-beating free kick to even to lose against Liverpool. So it's not like we can definitely mix it up with anybody in the league, and we're on form, quote unquote. Man City, the fact that they've lost games and everything, they're right now. I call them a team in transition. But I feel like when I saw the when I saw our starting lineup, I can't say I was surprised because we know Arteta. He's going to be safety first. He's going to try and contain. As soon as I realized that Odegaard was not available, I was like, well, it's going to be Merino. So I wasn't surprised to see it. What surprised me in the lineup was actually Trossard. I was not expecting that. That was like
Mm-hmm.
way out of left field. I expected him to at least to try and put what's Eze on the left, or even play Martinelli from the start because he usually trusts Martinelli in big games when he thinks that like there will be some pressure on that flank. So I was I wasn't surprised, and I was confident that we could get something out of the game, but I was at the same time I was still disappointed that um, I didn't see Arteta trying to be braver, especially because this is not the same City team that we've been playing for the past couple of years. It's not the same thing. They don't have the same aura, and I think we missed a trick this game because they were there for the taking. We just were not brave enough. And like they say, fortune favors the brave, and we definitely weren't brave.
Yeah, speaking about aura, I mean the stats are crazy. Who would have? I'm Shoki, I want you to kind of talk about from your perspective. Who would have ever imagined that Pep would play at some point with five defenders? Essentially, what was it, 5-4-1 at some point? Does that kind of tell you that it's like they're giving us respect? Because Liverpool did the same thing, right? At some point they they could have been a little bit more defensive. But you feel like teams are beginning to be scared of us, but we are not seeing that, or Arteta is not kind of seeing that,
I
and
feel
he's
like
setting
they're
up the
giving us
team the same
respect
way.
that we haven't earned yet. They're looking at us on paper and they're like, oh wow, I do need to respect these guys, but they forget that it's Arteta. This game, like honestly, that draw shocked me because I completely expected us to lose that game. Once I saw the lineup, I expected us to lose. I'm serious. I did. I did. I saw Merino. I'm like, where's the creativity going to come from? No Izzy, no Ethan, but instead you put in Merino to do what exactly? He can't hold the ball. He can't run with the ball. He can't. What exactly do you expect him to do? One of the things that Odegaard does when we have possession is to run from the midfield, come into the defense, pick up the ball, and distribute. Merino is never going to do that for you. So what exactly was his actual purpose? Till today I still don't understand. Is he defensive? Is he offensive? I have no idea.
He's offensive
Yeah.
when he plays for Spain. It's just, I think, is the shape that we play or how we
Yeah,
play.
so he doesn't fit our
He
shape.
doesn't fit.
That's what it looks like. He doesn't fit our shape,
The
right?
issue
So
is he's right next to Declan Rice, and the two of them are very very similar. When he plays for Spain, he doesn't have that. He has Pedri, he has um, Zubi right next to
but
him.
you can see what
Those
Rice
guys are
plays,
different.
right? You can see what Rice will hold the ball, he will run with it. He will drop and play a little defensive if he needs to. He will play double pivot with Zubimendi if he has to. Merino can do none of that.
So
Merino,
it's a good segue, right?
So, so,
So
so,
let's just.
sorry. Before we segue, I just want to jump in real quick, Casey, to something Oshoke said, or the question you asked Oshoke in terms of, are we getting respect? The answer is no. We're not getting any respect. Pep was happy to have us have the ball in that game. You know why? Because he knew we weren't going to do squat with it.
No creativity.
We're going to play our side to side, side to side, side to side, and nothing. They were never under threat.
Who was going
We
to
had
break them down?
we had 60 whatever percent of the possession, however many shots on goal, touches in the box. Did you feel like we were bombarding them? Like you saw Donnarumma making save on save on save on save on save? No, nothing like that happened
All
because
he saves from corners.
it was impotent possession that we had the whole time. And any coach, Pep of all people, especially when he has the injuries that he had, he started the same team 3 games in a row. Those guys were tired. Of course, he's willing to give us the ball. You guys rest, let them play their side to side thing, whatever, and then we'll hit them on the break. That was the plan the whole time. So it is not no respect thing. It was strategy because they know we're not going to do anything with the ball, and that is my biggest problem.
I think we gave them, if anything, we gave them respect.
Yes.
I think
Way too much respect.
yeah, I think Arteta still has this look. He still looks at them like this is the city.
He still looks at Pep like daddy.
Yeah, he looks at Pep like I can't mess up against these guys. And then the thing is, when you start with what I call them the unholy Trinity, when you have Merino-Rice and Zubi, you kind of set yourself up.
That's the title of our podcast right there.
You set yourself up when you have the three of them playing, because if you concede, everything kind of your tactical plans actually go out of the window.
You mean
Exactly.
you didn't have to start with?
That was the biggest problem.
It's very hard
There was
to
always
change.
a chance, right? There was always a chance we're going to concede against Manchester City, and then
Yeah.
the question is, how are you going to react against that?
It's
Your
very
plan
hard to
cannot be,
change
I'm going to
mid-game.
hold.
Yeah,
Right?
it's very hard to
You can't
change
change
mid-game
it.
with that lineup.
There is the good, there's the bad, and a little bit of the ugly, right? The good in the sense that, well, let's start with the bad. The bad in the sense that we didn't set up the team correctly. And I think that when a manager makes two subs in halftime, it kind of tells you what he's thinking, which could be the good, because now we're hearing that Madueke has an injury. That was a forced sub. But I think he recognized that the whole Merino factor wasn't working, right? And so he changed it.
Everybody could have.
He didn't have to recognize anything. We were down 1-0. His whole
But at the end of the day,
his whole
but at the
plan
end of
was
the
for us
day,
to be-
he reacted.
But his whole plan was for us to be level at that point, maybe a lucky goal up or whatever, and then we can control.
then
At
he
that
would-
point,
look,
we were down. He had no choice but to make those changes. I don't give him any credit for that.
I give him
cannot.
credit. You know why?
Nah.
Because if we didn't do it, we'll be sitting here and we're beating him with a stick. Because Oshoka
And he would
calls it on the
deserve
group
it.
all
Yeah,
the
he
time.
deserved that.
And says that I agree. So he has done something because he recognized that he made a mistake.
Yes,
He believes or not, everybody has an ego. Even you at work. How often would they say, will you come and say, boss, na me make mistake? Everybody has an ego, in the sense that you may not necessarily accept your mistake, but your actions may show it. And I think that we should give him credit, because he realized this is very uncharacteristic to Arteta. Oshoka says this on the group all the time. We're waiting for 65 minutes or 70 minutes for him to make up. But
Dude.
he saw that there was a reason and he did it.
Casey, let me tell you another reason why I think he made those two subs. You only have 3 windows to make subs, right? He only has 3 windows to make subs. Madueke getting that injury forced his hand. He had to make 2 subs immediately. He was always going to make that Saka sub.
I
at
think that's
some point.
supposition.
No, I
think it's
think
supposition.
that.
What
I
if
think
they
that
come in and they
if-
score and they score 2 goals?
No. See, Casey, let me explain why I'm saying this. I think that if, based on how Madueke was playing, if we had to make a sub, we would have taken Merino out and put Saka and play Madueke and Saka. to
You know
force
very
them
well that
on both.
there is no way Arteta will play Madueke and Saka.
He did it in
He has
preseason.
played them
When
before. Now, what are you talking about?
There's
He has
no
played
way he'll
them
play him
before.
in Man City. No way. I don't. How are you playing? You play Saka as the 8?
No. You play
he
Saka
played
7,
left
play
and
Madueke
right
on
now.
11.
Come on.
yeah, put down the on the left.
What happens to Trossard if you're taking out Mourinho?
Trossard will play
Take out
Mourinho.
Mourinho and
Who play
take
10?
out Mourinho
You
and
take
Trossard
both of
plays
them-
and
you take
bring
both of
Saka
them
in.
out for sure.
Yeah, and bring Eze in.
No, but you said that.
If
take
Trossard has to
Trossard-
be there,
said
you put him
take-
in 10. He can
I
play
don't know.
10.
Yeah,
No,
I don't disagree with that. That one I can see. If you take out Trossard and you take out Merino and you bring in
Yeah.
Saka, and I agree with that one. But not take out Merino and put Saka in there and expect Saka and Madueke to play with Trossard staying on the left.
No.
I don't think that works.
So you take out Merino, you take out Trossard, you move Madueke to the left and play Eze where Merino was.
Yeah, if Eze comes in, because I think the key factor there is Eze. At the end of the
But
day,
that's why I
nothing was
said-
going on the left side, which half the time
That's
it
why I
doesn't
said
happen on the left side anyway.
he was going to make that sub regardless. He was going to make that sub regardless.
He just made it early. That's all. He
Made
just
it
made it early.
and
That's
he
all.
had to make 2 subs.
Look, at the end of the day, the sub was made, right? We don't know what was going through his mind. All we're doing here is trying to figure out why he made certain decisions. I
I've been
believe
saying this
that.
for the last 4 years. Because sorry to cut
Oh,
you off. I've been saying this for the last 4 years. I've been questioning Arteta's decision making for the last 4 years.
mhm.
It's gotten worse, but I've been questioning it, and a lot of the time I attribute it to arrogance. I feel like it's just arrogance.
I mean, most coaches are arrogant.
Yeah,
Most people,
some of them
yeah.
are not so
There's a
arrogant
certain
that
level of
they
belief
let
you
things
have in
go
yourself to
bad
make
just
certain
because they're being
decisions.
arrogant.
It's not a bad
You
thing.
you earned the right to be arrogant,
Yeah,
Casey.
he's
No, I don't.
reminding
I
me
don't.
of
And the truth
the
of and the
Listen,
final
truth of the
days of
matter
Wenger.
is, yeah, the truth of the matter is, Mikel Arteta has not done enough to
He
earn
hasn't
that
won
right to
anything.
be arrogant. He hasn't won
I,
anything.
He
The
hasn't
one
won
FA
anything.
Cup
I,
doesn't count. Sorry.
I, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. But if I had to throw in something there, he has picked this Merino sword to die on, right? That's one of the biggest things that we've been talking about here. I think most people are hanging their hats on. This game would have been different if we didn't start Merino and Trossard, right? Fair enough.
And then even post match in his comments, he's saying, "I'm happy with the way the team played." He's talking about
What do you expect? Do you think he'll go out
You
there and
can't say
and hang his
he can't
guys
say
out there to
anything.
dry?
Amorim, he would go out there and play on Amorim.
Ah.
Look, I understand your frustration with Arteta. I get it. But this is what I have to say. And you guys can call me out, fans. You can call me out. You can back me out. Leave your comments. Let me know. Subscribe, Gunpowder Banter. But what I'm trying to say is, Arteta has taken us on a journey. Just think about this for a second. I don't know how many of you. I don't know if you guys are supporting Arsenal pre Wenger, right? But there is something about that what Arteta has brought to me as a fan. There's a certain level of a belief that I've had in the club again, right? A certain level of progress that I've witnessed. So he has earned a lot of he has earned some credit with me, clearly more than you guys, and there's no problem with that because at the end of the day, there's no fan police here. Everybody has a right to believe and believe
I'm going to be
whatever they want.
as ballsy as
But
Arteta hasn't been and say this. If for
yeah,
those of you who are Christians, you know the story. Moses took the Israelites all the way to the gate and never went into the promised land.
And that just may be who Arteta is for
I'm
us. You're
happy. I'm
absolutely
happy you
right.
read your
No,
Bible,
no, no,
Oshoke.
Oshoka, you're absolutely right about that. Because
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is, what is the point of you say he's the one who is driving us, right? He's driving this thing or whatever, but he keeps missing his exit. But he drives so beautifully. We love the car. The AC is perfect in the car, and so we keep driving and we're enjoying the ride. Okay, now this is the exit side. Take us to the theme park. No, look, guys, look at the theme park over there. You can see the roller coaster. Let's keep going on the freeway. Don't you like this AC that we are in? Let's keep doing that. No, we can't keep doing that now.
Second analogy: Golden State Mark
Listen,
Jackson.
who?
All the way to the gate, but never going in.
Listen,
Always, they say always the
we're sitting here.
bridesmaid, never the
We're
bride.
sitting here delegating Arteta, and rightfully so. He makes questionable decisions. I think that, like I said to you, Femi, and the text is that personally, and you guys can disagree. Personally, I'm willing to give Arteta till next season. Here, let me tell you why, and we can talk about lineup in this game because we've had a very hard start. I know Liverpool is 5 points away from us, but also look at how Liverpool won their last games. Right? It's not like they are also very clinical. It's not like they are blowing teams out of the water.
I
They
said
have
this
their
two
own
weeks ago.
problems,
Champions
right?
figure out a way to win.
And Claire, I don't disagree with you. We figured out a way to be winning those games 2 years ago, and we ended up still falling short, right? So there's a certain level of luck that has to fall your way, as well as skill, as well as coaching. There's so many things that help you win a title. It's not just one thing. I don't think it's always the best coach that wins,
No,
right?
no.
There has to be there's a certain level of luck. I think that the season is still early. I think that let's see how these players, these new players that we've bought, all these 8 signings that we've made, let's see how they gel together. Let's see what Arteta does because Arteta clearly has a lot of tools in his toolbox that he can use. And I think the reason why we're sitting here complaining about Merino, last year we wouldn't complain about Merino because we'd be like, we don't have the players. Now he has the players, he's not using them. Arteta, I don't think he sits in his house and says that, what am I going to do to not win this game? I want to believe that our coach wants to win us a title. I really want to believe that. So I'm willing to give him
What you
time.
want to do, what you
So,
can do,
so,
not
so,
necessarily the same.
so I'm gonna shock you, Casey. I agree with you 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Ateta has brought back a belief, right? Since 3-4 years ago. I've started buying jerseys again. I stopped buying jerseys for many years. I've
Even
started buying
Namdi.
jerseys again. I believe in the team again. There is that belief there, right? I am talking about everything, and I'm talking in gratitude for what he has done, but also knowing that we have what it takes to go
To go
further,
further, yep.
and we're not doing it. We can't be satisfied with mediocrity, unfortunately, right? We were in the doldrums before. Now we are out of it. We're contenders now, genuine contenders. But then it's not enough just to be contenders. If this were last season and we were talking about injuries, just like you said, right? So we're talking about injuries or whatever the case may be, or something weird happened, or I don't know, whatever, something, right? We had excuses and all that. Then that's fine. Well, this year, we've spent all the money. He has all his players. We can field two A teams or A minus teams if you want to on any given day, right? Two separate ones on any given day. But yet we continue to play players out of position when we have the tools, the proper tools. This Merino decision was extremely dumb in my mind because you had two separate options that you could have tried in that position, and you had both of them sitting on the bench who
He
play in that
clearly,
position.
but he, sorry, got it, but I think he clearly doesn't trust those options to do whatever it is he wants them to do.
Well, you just
That's just
you paid how much for Eze?
Almost
And you
$100
just
million dollars.
and you
You don't
just gave
trust him.
Ethan a 5-year contract.
a 5-year contract.
I call BS on that.
Yeah,
No, no,
bullshit.
but
Because-
there's a difference
because-
between
because
trusting them now and trusting them yet, or in the short term.
I call BS on that. You went and brought this guy for plenty of money, hijacked him from Spurs. We made all the noise about that. So you gave Ethan a 5-year contract just now. They're your team members.
Yeah.
You chose
Brought
those
him
guys.
from the academy because he
You
has
chose
been in the
those guys,
system.
and exactly, and those are the people you chose,
but
and
the
you
reason-
should be able
the-
to live with them.
The reason I say that is he played Ethan in other games. He didn't play them. He didn't play him in Liverpool. He didn't play them in Man City. That means he does not trust him in the big games to do the defensive part of what
And
the right is.
and
Or what
I'm
the right
saying,
is.
and I'm
The one
saying,
who
and I'm saying,
can
and
for
I'm saying,
defense.
if that's the case, that's also his problem
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
those are his backups. Those are his backups for that position.
No, that's what I'm saying.
he
That-
chose-
that-
that
he's
he
the
went
one.
and brought in and offered new contract in order to stay.
Yeah.
But look
Yeah,
at it
but
this
you
way,
know-
right? Look at it this way.
ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, Casey.
Go
You're
ahead, go ahead.
saying he doesn't trust them to play their defensive role. You have arguably probably the best defense in Europe. Why are you not trusting your number 10 to play a defensive role?
Because we
It's
have that
more of
defensive
a-
because
it's more
because
of
we
a
defend as a
pressing
team.
thing. It's more of a pressing
Yes.
thing. So
It's more of a
Odegaard-
pressing
agree with
thing.
that. Yes.
Odegaard is a trigger.
What kind
Odegaard's
of
trigger.
pressing was Merino doing?
He's the closest you're going to
Now-
get to that kind of defensive discipline in the final third, like trying to win the ball back early. That's the closest you're getting. The other guys,
I don't agree,
think
but
he-
okay.
No, I don't think he believes that the other guys are disciplined enough to do what Odegaard does throughout the game.
Okay,
He
now
clearly-
guess what?
he
Hold
clearly
on,
thinks
hold
that
on.
Merino can
Hold
do
on.
it.
And now, Namdi, guess what? Let's go back to it. What did Pep do about that? You guys have the ball. Go and play your side-to-side thing or whatever.
No,
You
he
guys-
gave it-
then there was nothing to press because
gave
we
it to
can't
us.
do anything with the ball.
But remember, they were leading. They didn't have to.
Yes,
They didn't
yes.
have- the game plan already changed.
The
after
game would
that
have
goal.
been it changed after that 9 minute or whatever. I think that we didn't see Pep's game plan, but I believe that.
We're going around in circles. Hold on,
Let-
Casey. We're going around in circles here. The game changed, but and Arteta was not prepared for the game to change.
Yeah.
That is
And he
also the
made this-
problem. We already called that out earlier.
Yeah.
So why are we
Yeah,
talking about
I'm-
the game change, and that's the problem? If he had set up the team properly, even if the game changed, would have been able to adjust, but we were not able to because he had one plan in his head that he expected to play out at least until halftime, and he didn't.
Yeah, no plan B.
I'm definitely not defending him for that because I already told you what I felt he should have done. He
Listen.
clearly thinks that Merino is doing something that we cannot see. So
Listen,
you know, and
I
that's on him.
always give I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Because number one, I don't know, we don't know all the information that he takes into to make his decisions, right? Just like we're all here,
Apparently,
I
nobody
can't
knows
believe
all the information he
you
takes in.
guys were screaming on the group chat yesterday. Wow, you take up the most attacking or the most threatening player on the field, Madueke, only to realize later that he's injured. I know you don't believe that story, but whatever. It's
No,
not very
he's
relevant here
injured.
because
That's
we know that
yeah.
he's injured. So there are certain decisions that he makes with information that he has that we may not be privy to. So what I want to do is let's get into Arteta's head and let's try to understand. He's not a stupid coach. This guy is not dumb. He's a very he thinks a lot, and you can tell by the fact that sometimes he overthinks. Right, he overthinks certain situations. But at the end of the day, you got to. I think that Arteta has earned a certain level of respect in terms of his mind. Now he hasn't won anything yet, and I wouldn't give him the full respect for that. But we clearly know that he's not. He doesn't just wake up in the morning. What are we gonna do today? There's some thought given to it. So I think that the Merino thing. Correct me if you disagree. I think that if hot take, if Kai is fit, he starts his game. Number one.
Yeah, if guys
So
fits, he
I
starts. If Odegaard is
yes,
fit, Merino doesn't play.
he starts, and we don't have this conversation. But Gyökeres is not a good presser. Gyökeres doesn't.
He
His
pressed better
first.
than Merino yesterday, though.
Hold on. I'm telling you. Hold
I'm
on.
just saying.
Gyökeres is not a good presser. He doesn't have good touches of the ball. Number one, right? Again, this is my opinion. You can disagree with it. But Gyökeres doesn't have good touches of the ball. I think that he puts Merino in there because he wants Merino to help with the press. Donnarumma he's not good with his feet. So if you can force the press on him early, you can force him into a mistake. Did we do that yesterday? We didn't do it. But I think that
Almost,
there
we
was a certain
almost got
level
it.
of, but we didn't do it enough. And I
Yeah.
think that there was a certain level of that. Merino didn't have a good game yesterday by all his standards. Whether he's not the right person for that game or not, he did not have a good day. Number one. So that's why
You see,
he played Merino
Merino's
because he
best
wanted to.
game for us has been as a striker. That that to me tells you a
So
lot.
let me know.
He's played some good games as an 8-2 for us. I can recall a few times where he played as an 8 and was decent. His first few games when he joined last season, he played as an 8 in some of those games, and I think we
Was
saw good
okay.
performances out of him.
He was okay.
Let me
Every
just add
time he
these 2
played,
points,
he's
and
okay.
before let me add these 2 points before you guys respond, and then why he didn't play Waneri in there. I think it's because he doesn't, like Nami said, he doesn't trust him in the press. And I think I said this on this show the last time Waneri played. I said that he brings us something offensively. But the one thing that you notice in his press, which Odegaard does very well, is leading the press and closing down players. And I don't think that he was ready for this game. Number one. Eze, I think Eze should have started the game. I don't think Merino should have started. However, I'm just telling you that Arteta made a decision. I don't agree with his decision to play Merino, but this is me trying to get into set to understand why he made that decision. So over to you, Femi.
I was sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, Emi. Just one quick thing, 10 seconds. I was watching the first half on Sky and also on Peacock. There's one thing both analysts said that rhymed. Nobody had any explanation for why he had the lineup he had. It was the dumbest thing they had seen in a long time.
They clearly
But
I
haven't
go
watched
don't
ahead,
it.
Femi.
I don't like listening to Sky. Sky is very
K-
biased
K-
against Arsenal.
Casey
Anybody
just gave
that-
us, Casey just gave us the explanation for why he did what he did, but it is exactly the point of why I don't trust Arteta. You are absolutely right. He wanted to press, win the ball back, do whatever, all of that in an effort to not score, because once you get the ball, we were not going to do anything with it. We were going to play side to side and hold the ball. He wanted a 0-0. He wanted to not lose. He went in there to say, I'm going in order to do something that is not losing. This game, you don't make progress in this game by not losing. You make progress in this game by winning, by actually going out there to win. When you try not to lose, then you end up with 0-0 games and you had 14 draws like we had last season.
Yep.
And that's how you lose
The
the
title.
league.
The title.
That's how you lose the title. The point is, you have to be brave. You have to have defensive structure is good. It's great. I love it. We should have that. I love that we have our defensive record. I love Arteta for that.
But then lean into
But it is not more important than having a game plan to go forward and actually attack. That is how you actually score goals and win games.
I'm
The
telling
good
you that
the,
these
the,
guys'
the, the,
strategies don't lose the big games, draw the big games, and then try and win the smaller against the smaller team. That's what he's trying to do this season.
and I'm
He's
not
been
okay
doing
with
that
that.
every time. He
Yeah,
did that
and I'm
tried to
saying-
do it
Well,
last.
but
And
but
I'm
let me
saying
ask you
I'm
guys.
not
okay
let-
with it. I'm not okay
But
with
remember, the reason why we didn't win the league the last 2 years is not because of the top six, right? It's
Yeah.
because of the lower teams.
Yeah,
Right?
we were losing those games because we didn't have anything offensively. We weren't creating. After we've hammered this XG in open play. We're hoping our number one, our plan A strategy is set pieces.
Get
we
it,
have
partner.
we have the lowest XG because we don't create, because our focus is to have big guys in there. And so, well, if you have big guys in there to defend or whatever and stop you from scoring, well, you can try to score with those guys by putting them up front in order to go and head a corner in or some free kick or anything
problem
or
is-
something like that.
In this game, City had big guys
Exactly.
and a huge keeper. So,
And that's exactly what Pep
Roma did
Pep
not
said.
let
Pep
any of those
said-
corners
Pep
do what
said,
they were supposed to do.
I'm going to counter exactly by putting big guys in there. Now what? We have
So-
to create. We have to create. There is
So
no
be-
excuse whatsoever for not putting any kind of creative energy in that team. I refuse to accept it.
So before we wrap up this segment, Namdi, what are your thoughts about this?
Last point. Casey.
Go ahead.
Last point, and I'll leave it alone at this point. Jamie Carragher said after the Sky Sport in the post match after, he said we went out and got Gyökeres because we said scoring was a problem for this team. But he said something that, and I don't agree with Carragher on anything, but I'm going to agree with him on this. Our problem is not scoring. Our problem is creating. We don't have a consistent way of creating chances for people we put up front. It's haphazard. The ball gets there. There's a corner. There's a free kick. We go through the wing and all that. But there is no consistent identity in terms of how we create chances to score. That is the biggest problem with this team.
Namdi,
yeah.
yeah, what do you have to say about that? How do you think we solve this creativity problem? Because clearly the team is too dependent on Odegaard. When he's not there, it's all hell. When he's there and he's not playing well, we're back here still debating this whole creativity thing. What do you think we do?
We have to mix it up. We definitely have to mix it up. Stop doing
With Merino?
No,
I don't
you
think we are too dependent on Odegaard. I think
No,
Arteta
we are
is too
not
dependent on
dependent.
Odegaard.
Even when we had Odegaard, we were having this creative issue as well. It's not. This is not a new problem we've been having. He needs to mix it up. He needs to start trusting people, and he needs to. You have to put in at least put in two creative players. If you're gonna put Odegaard, you have to put Eze in there as well. Put Eze in there. See what happens. But the problem is that he's not gonna do that. He's gonna play this whole contained football against the big boys. Maybe he's gonna do it against the smaller boys. He will put maybe against smaller boys he will put in more creative people. But we'll see. I think this first run of games threw a lot of tough fixtures at him. So let's see what's going to happen in the next next 5 games, where we have a lot more a more favorable schedule. Let me see what he's going to do, because that to me would tell you how we're going to start playing.
Oshoke, how do you think we solve this creativity problem?
I think we need Arteta to
Be bold.
I think Eze was an excellent addition. Trust him to do what you brought him to do. Odegaard is injured, put him in there. I don't know if he's scared that maybe if he puts Eze in there, he will play so well that he can't put Odegaard when he's fit. There has to be some stupid reason as to why he doesn't trust him to put him in there. Put him in. What's the worst that could happen?
We win.
But there are two different profiles of players. I mean, that the answer is what.
Yes, there are two
He
different profiles.
wants Odegaard to go in there and press. Eze is not going to be a pressing guy. Eze
Eze
is a
not gonna
very
do that.
lackadaisical, lazy guy who wants to kind of sling past people or
been his
whatever.
problem
I
right
won't
from
say he's
Crystal
lazy,
Palace.
but I don't think he's used to.
He's
the
not
way
a good
we are-
presser.
The way we play. I mean,
Yeah.
Crystal Palace used to play in a mid block type of game. They play a mid block. That's still kind of pressing, but obviously not as much as we used to do.
So in this game,
S- s-
why not Eze? Because Merino wasn't pressing, so we can't say, well, Merino offered more pressing. Merino wasn't.
And right, and the proof of it is Eze comes in the second half, and then the game changes entirely. Right? You see flashes, you see everything, you see creativity, you see the ball moving. You know, it feels like you're watching a game.
There was more purpose with the ball in the second half.
There was more purpose with
But
the ball.
also
right?
at that
feels
point-
it feels like you're actually watching.
But
you're actually
Femi,
watching a match.
I think
versus-
Man City at that
Femi,
point
you
we are kind of.
remember you also said that at that point Man City decided to give us the ball, so you're gonna see him a lot more on the ball as well.
They gave us the ball in the first half too.
Yeah,
After
they
they
did.
scored, they gave us the ball in the first half too. But it was very different in the
But
second half. is
it
my
was
point.
different.
I think second half they
for sure.
came out saying yeah. I think the second half they came out saying yeah. Let's just give them the ball. We'll sit back. So let's wrap up this segment. Any final words, Femi, on how do you think we solve this creativity problem? Do we let Arteta
Fire
out
the
the door
coach.
tomorrow? Hot take.
I don't listen. I don't hate Mikel Arteta. To be honest, when I say I'm on the Arteta out bandwagon, I'm saying it with pain and trepidation in my chest, right? I just want him to do the right thing. That's really all I'm asking for, right? I'm hurt and I need him to do the right thing for us.
Or at least try.
Begging.
At
Or
least
try,
try.
right? That's all.
Yeah, try.
I'll give him next 5 games. I told you, you will see. You will see the real Arsenal.
You mean when we play against teams he's not scared of?
I mean,
Exactly,
this is Arsenal
exactly.
we came back. Was it Dubai we went to 2 years ago and came back in
Yeah.
January and just and blew teams out of the water. So let's hope that that Arsenal.
So
comes
when
back.
you see us spanking teams 5-0, wait till you go talk.
All right, so
And
let's
what-
get. We're almost
go
running
on.
out of time here. I just want us to talk through these 2 goals that were scored during the game. Nam, do you want to take us through the first goal that we conceded?
I've already told. Okay, so like I
You
said,
you didn't tell you didn't tell Gunpowder Banter listeners. You told us.
okay, as you can see, you see how we congregated. If you take it back again, we congregated around Haaland, and then Gabriel dived in for a tackle. Gabriel dived in a tackle. Why he was that high up, I don't know. Haaland plays the ball away, gives it to Reinders, and Reinders now runs at Saliba. Saliba now turns his back. He had a choice to either go with Haaland or try and tackle Reinders. He decided to wait until the last minute. By the time he waited, it was too late. And it was just a 1 touch and 1 finish. Now, to me, I was telling you guys earlier, I think Gabriel was at fault for diving in. I'm not going to absolve Saliba completely, but the fault to me lies with Gabriel. He was high up, left his position, and once you miss that tackle, that he was taken out of the game. He couldn't even run back to catch up with Haaland. So at that point, you have a 3v2. Obviously, you could say Doku is far left, so yeah, you can argue for and against if he counts, but fact is Saliba gambled. He made a choice. He gambled and lost, and that was it. He should have gone with Haaland and blocked up that and just allowed Reinders to take a shot and see if he could score or not.
Okay, so you just blamed Gabriel for gambling up front, and that's what, and he lost there. But Saliba actually did not gamble. He turned his back and he didn't know what was behind him. So that's two different things. That is why this is a Saliba problem more than a Gabriel problem.
But why was he?
You also
that
forget
far?
something. Gabriel was up there because we had the ball. We lost it. This was a counter attack because we lost the ball.
There were
And they were
three
trying to
players-
catch up.
There were 3 players around Haaland. He did not have to be there. To the back.
No, but we had the ball.
I think
You're missing the point.
It's normal to see Gabriel up high. in the
Yes,
field.
that's very
how-
normal. There's nothing abnormal about that.
I
So-
think that
so in
we're
your opinion,
beating him with a
it's
stick
not
too much in the
Gabriel's
sense
fault.
that I think that it was a good goal. There was a lucky break. and it was
I
a good
agree.
goal.
It wasn't.
Yes. Look
There
how
was skill
fast
to.
Haaland
You got to give Haaland credit.
Yeah.
Of course.
The pass that released Reinders in the first place was from Haaland, and then look at the pace that he uses to beat Gabriel.
Haaland,
So I
yes.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. This was a great goal by good players who put those couple of passes together and use space to kind of beat us in defense. I agree 1,000%. However, that said, I don't. To be honest, we're saying Saliba should have gone for Haaland. I don't know that stops the goal. To be honest with you, but at least I would have loved to see that. Right?
10 times out of 10.
Do you know? I just realized something, right? And of course, sorry guys, we cannot show the clip because of broadcasting rights. However, look at this. Haaland starts at the same line with Gabriel,
With Gabriel.
right?
he
And
still does not
Saliba
catch.
knows how fast Gabriel is, but I think he underestimates how fast Haaland is, because I think that he's looking at this because he assumes that Gabriel will catch up with him, so he doesn't pay attention to what's happening behind him. Is that a good decision? I think it's a wrong decision, but because if you look at the end of
No.
Gabriel,
Gabriel
Gabriel is yelling at him.
Hold on.
Look at that.
Exactly.
See that?
Casey, so Gabriel told him, even when he was making that decision, when he was making that battery, Gabriel was telling him to go, and he still wasn't doing that.
Oh, I
Gabriel
didn't
was
see
yelling
that.
at him. He was right here. Gabriel was yelling at him, telling him to go, but he didn't.
10 times out of 10.
Nah,
If
I
I'm,
didn't. He's fast.
No.
I saw it in the replay. No, I saw it in the replay. I saw it in the
Look at it this way. 10 times out of 10. If I'm stuck between...
in a slow-mo replay, Gabriel was yelling at him to go meet Haaland, and he didn't.
If I'm stuck between Haaland for a one-on-one or Rangers for a long shot, I'm picking up Haaland.
All right.
I would rather Rangers take a long range shot or have a one-on-one than Haaland. So 10 out of 10, I'm going for Haaland. I'm blocking that off.
Everything is hindsight anyway.
This shouldn't be though. You are paid for this particular decision to not be hindsight. Now, if Rangers scores that goal, I'll take it. No problem.
All right.
So let's. I think
Everybody's
we've talked
against
that
me
today.
on this one. I still maintain it's
Yeah, I
Gabriel's
think it
fault.
was. All right, let's talk our goal. All right, Oshoka, you want to talk us through that? That was after actually a brilliant miss by Doku.
Brilliant miss. I mean, this is just classic Martinelli, right? You bring him in, everybody's tired. He outruns everybody. Like there's nothing fancy or anything about it. And honestly, this goal, I don't want to take anything from Martinelli because it was a good goal, but he just swung his leg at the ball.
Is Eze a joke to you?
Oh
That-
my
did you see that pass?
Oshoke,
That-
Oshoke,
Oh,
you are a
exactly.
hater.
No.
You are officially a hater.
Hold on.
That was an amazing pass.
Look at this pass. Is Eze a joke to you?
No. That was an amazing pass. What I'm saying is Martinelli did not aim for the post. He swung
What are
his
you
leg at the
talking
ball.
about?
What are you talking about, Oshoka?
Look at it again.
Chill now.
Look at it again.
God.
Look at it again.
Chill.
Oshoke.
We see Martinelli do this thing like when he starts like
Okay,
10
you don't
times
come
every
again.
game. We see Martinelli do this thing like 10 times in every game, and 11 times out of 10 it goes wide.
Okay.
Give the guy.
I'm gonna stop you there. He saw Donnarumma off his line. He knew he had one thing to do, and he
There
did
was
it, and
only
he did it.
one
Maybe
way to
you're
do
right.
that. He had to.
He
Maybe
looks
you're
at
right.
him.
Maybe you're
Look
right.
at that. He looks at him. He sees that
Right.
he's off his line.
Right.
And there's
Well,
only
so
one thing he
I
can
guess
do.
this is the one time in Martinelli's career that he actually looks up because he never does.
You actually
So
conceded
my
to that.
argument now, or what I would
No,
say,
but you
what
know,
I would say
it's
is,
fine.
why don't we try him in that forward line position?
As a striker,
He has the eye for it.
Eh,
we're playing
He's not
in the past, right?
he's not a good finisher. That's the problem.
yeah.
I mean, the goals he's been scoring is through the middle. So lately,
That's a good point. The last two games,
Have you?
right?
Sorry. That Bilbao goal does not count. It counts for the
boy.
run. It doesn't count for the finish. And
Yeah,
it's
it
emblematic of
doesn't
what
count for the
happened.
finish.
It was supposed to be a save. That ball was supposed to be a save. Let's
I
be
think
honest.
it's intentional.
Yes.
I think it was intentional.
What?
Kicking close to the keeper because he
Femi,
cannot
Femi,
reach.
you
He
are
can take too much
joined
time for you
Oshoke now. You're just hitting the
I
guy.
know, right?
So
No.
any goal he scores
It
now,
was
the
intentional.
keeper is useless. That's
No.
the next thing.
He hit that ball off the keeper. He actually hit that ball off the keeper.
And
That
he
was
still went in
intentional.
under the thing is the keeper he played it quicker than the keeper was able to set himself. So it went under his body.
Femi's.
I may be being unfair to Martinelli because I have a feeling that the next game Arteta is just going to start him at 11 again.
Okay,
That reason.
You know what I'm going to use to end this argument?
What?
Our Igwe goal said it was a poor finish. Thierry Henry said it in the post game on Paramount, and so therefore that should go for all of us.
That's Bible right there.
That's Bible.
Standards are
Okay, so that's
no,
Bible.
his standards are too high. That's
The Bilbao one.
The Bilbao finish, yes. It was a poor
You
finish.
see, the problem is
Henry's
when
standards are too high.
Henry uses himself to
Thank
judge
you,
other players.
and that's why that's why he didn't succeed in his coaching career because you
uses
spend the
himself
whole
to
day
judge
coaching
them.
like everybody
This
is
is
like
how
him.
I would have finished. That's
Yeah.
what he's telling you. That's how I would have finished. To me, he didn't do anything. No. It's a good finish. It's a good finish. I mean, it's not all finishes are not going to be clean.
All right, guys,
Anyway.
we're out of time here. So, match predictions. You guys want to talk about Newcastle? What are your predictions for Newcastle?
Newcastle, Merino to start as a
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I know. Say now they just define Wala.
Yes, it's too much about this point.
But let me ask you something. Would you be surprised if you saw Merino in starting line?
Oh, I won't be.
Actually,
Exactly.
for
I will
Newcastle,
not
I
be
would be
surprised.
because of the physicality of the game, and it's away.
Away from home, physicality.
Yes.
Yeah, I
won't be
even
surprised.
expect him to be on.
You can't put Nwaneri against Joe Linton.
Yes, you can. Do you
Is it?
remember? Do you remember when we played them and we beat them? I think it was 2-0, right? In their
Was it at
house.
home?
At their home.
Yeah.
When we were talking about how physicality, and we now started with Jorginho.
Oh yeah.
And that was like one of the best games he had ever played. So
Yeah.
there are ways to play these guys who are very physical. You can play around them if you can. You get more,
Easy. Let
get more technicians on the field.
Bruno into doing some cards.
Ateta actually was ballsy, yeah. He set up the team right.
He was. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe at halftime in this City game, maybe Josh sent him a text message like, "Really?" and then he made some changes.
Merino has nudes. Merino has his nudes.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to rest my judgment
Predictions.
for the next couple of games. My prediction for the Newcastle game is 2-0 to us. We beat them 2-0.
Okay. Oshoke.
3-1. No, but caveat. Merino plays withdraws. Or sorry, Merino starts withdraw.
Merino starts with
starts
draw.
with draw.
Okay.
But 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah. I honestly, the Newcastle game is one of those games where it feels like a bogey game to me. Honestly.
If you don't win, you just forget about the title. Like, start forgetting about that title. If you can't go to Newcastle and win,
What you're saying is a tough ask.
Exactly.
Looking
No.
at this, St.
I
James.
don't agree with a lot of things Arteta says, but he said after the game, there's a 5-point gap with Liverpool, and he was like, it's early in the season, we'll be fine. I agree with that sentiment. It's early, so even if we lose it, the only reason this Man City game was super upsetting to me, and I'm glad we ended up drawing because I feel like it's more about the signal of what it says, losing both our games against top quality opposition, right? And I didn't want that signal. But in terms of where it puts us in the table and how far behind Liverpool it would have been, it wouldn't. It wasn't an issue for me, and it's still not an issue for me right now. The Newcastle game feels like a bogey game to me, so I'm not expecting a lot out of it. I don't.
Are you expecting anything out of it?
0-1.
I'm not.
Sounds like it.
No. It could very well be a 0-0 game, or we might even lose 1-0.
Hey.
I'm being honest. I don't see anything out of it because this team just doesn't inspire confidence. Like it's the same creativity thing. It's kind of like I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, where are the goals coming from, right? If Saka and Rice play and then we are able to ping all kinds of corners in there and then get a couple of goals from set pieces, then sure, maybe we win that game. But other than that, in terms of how we actually plan to set up and win the game, especially if he refuses to start Eze, I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Eze
So your
starts.
final prediction. Prediction and hot take.
Martinelli 2 goals.
So I'm putting that against your name, Martinelli 2 goals.
No, please.
Yes.
No, that's
a
something
very
you
terrible
can bet on.
take.
That's one of those 1 to 1 million bets.
My hot take is Gyökeres doesn't play.
Gyökeres doesn't play.
Yeah, or doesn't start at least.
Okay. I don't think
I
it's
can
going
see.
to be-
I can even see that with Arteta actually.
That's not going to happen. The only way Gyökeres doesn't start is if Havertz is back.
Avi. I do have a hindsight hot take though.
What's your hot take, Oshoke? You're really
My hindsight hot take.
What was that?
What? After the
Different outcome if he started Mosquera instead of Saliba. Saliba was fresh off injury.
That's that one. Another podcast. We'll save that one for midweek.
It doesn't mean that it was a wrong decision to start Saliba. I'm just saying different outcome. But hindsight.
You are going into conspiracy
Yeah.
conspiracy theory mode now.
Femi, you haven't given us your score prediction.
How many times I go give you the same
It's
stuff?
0-0,
You can't give options. You just
You say 0-0. It could be 0-0.
Okay. Here's the thing. You guys know me. It's hard for me to put it out in the world that we're going to lose again. So I'm going to say 3-1. We find a way to score through set pieces, and then we're still back to the creativity question. 3-1.
That's better. Yeah,
That's
fun.
better.
Good fun.
I would take 3.
You could have just said 0-0.
I'm going
Corner goals any day.
Damn, what's your hot take? Do you have any?
1 Neri to start.
No. I actually have a hot take that doesn't necessarily favor Arsenal, but I have a hot take.
What's that?
Donnarumma has shown other teams how to defend us against corners.
What?
I would agree with that.
Donnarumma has shown teams how to defend our corners.
Not everybody has his height.
True,
He's rich.
but chances are a keeper will get a call anyway.
No, you can want it. Look at that. What's
I
that
don't
guy?
think he has. I think City and any team that has big players has told the world how to defend.
But this wasn't players. This was the keeper. Those corners were all Donnarumma.
Right, because they were all under the
under the
crossbar,
bar.
and he
Under the bar.
punched
He
out
just punched
every
everything.
single one. He just punches out.
Yeah.
He gets to every single one of them balls. So
Yeah, but that means he has to shout out and let his defenders know that he's coming for it. Otherwise, they'll crowd him. So, mean, at the end of the day, it's defense and
So the tactic was give him space.
yeah.
Those corners, give him space.
Yeah, that you can tell David Ospina how to defend against Arsenal corner. Doesn't mean that he will reach there.
Ospina, we will catch ball inside net.
At least he caught it.
But
I don't
we don't
miss
see
that guy, man. We've
remember
come through a lot.
Fabianski,
We've come through a
Fabianski,
lot.
Victor Manon. What was the other guy? Before Szczesny, who was it before?
Szczesny was actually not
Yeah.
bad.
There was Fabianski, there was Szczesny, and then somebody right after Szczesny. Who was it? It wasn't Ospina that came after Szczesny. Maybe it was. Yeah.
But we had Lehmann, and then we had Czech.
Yeah, Czech was much late. Oh, Almunia. That's what I was
Almunia.
thinking about.
Mm.
Almunia. Anyway, all right. I think that we've beat this game to death. I kind of expected this was going to be a longer than usual podcast, but I think it was well worth the venting of the frustration. I think a lot of emotions had been building up, and we're able to at least be able to share that with you guys. As always, we're always being honest with you. again, bringing our group chat into the public sphere so you guys can join in our conversations. And we hope that you will join us here as a guest as well. Like I said, leave a comment, subscribe to us, Gunpowder Banter, YouTube. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. There are 3 different ways to which you can get in touch with us and you can listen to us. We'll bring you a show here every week. We may not be correct, but we always bring the emotion and the honesty to our conversation. So thank you for joining us, Oshoke, Femi, Diesel. Appreciate you guys and your time. And fellow listeners, Gunpowder Banter, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you guys.
Thank you
guys.